Hi there, it's Mr. Lees doing the National 5 Mathematics paper from 2022, and this is paper 2 and we're doing question 5, which is your mean and standard deviation question. So the school netball team recorded the number of sit-ups each player could do in a minute, and the numbers for the seven players were, and you can see them all there. Calculate the mean and standard deviation of the sit-ups. So for this one here, you would be looking at your formula sheet just to remind you of the two formulas that we have for standard deviation. I'm going to be using both of them just as you can see how they differ. So I'm going to start off by using the first one here, and here we have it there. So pick it up and here we go. So this is the first one. So standard deviation is the square root of the sum of each number take away the mean squared over n take 1. So just a wee mini lesson here. That means just the sum of, add them up. That one there is each number in turn. You'll see what I mean by that in a wee second. And x is the mean, which we used to call the average. And n is how many numbers there are. So let's get to the sums there. So there we are, written down in the order that we're given. So add them all up and divide by 7. And you have 182 divided by 7 gives you 26. Now that's quite a nice mean there, no complications with that. So we're now going to form a table. So we write down the numbers that we were given, 29, 27, all the way up to 30. And we now do each number take away the mean squared. Now the mean is 26. So we have 29 take away 26, which is 3 squared, you get 9. 27 take away 26 is 1, square that you get 1. 24 take 26 is minus 2, square that you get positive 4. 31 take 26 is 5, square that you get 25. 22 take 26 is minus 4, square that you get 16. 19 take 26 is the biggest one, that is minus 7, square that you get 49. 30 take 26 is 4, square that you get 16. So adding up all these gives you 120. So that is that part of the formula there. So here we have it there. So the standard deviation is the square root of 120 divided by, now there were 7 numbers, so 7 take away 1 is 6. So it's the square root of 120 over 6, which is 20. So the standard deviation is 4.47, and we'll just round it off to one decimal place. We'll call it 4.5. Or, as I said, using the second formula, again, straight from the formula sheet, the standard deviation is the sum, the square root of, similar to the previous one, the sum of each number in turn squared, plus add up all the numbers and square your final answer, and divide that and that alone by how many numbers there were, then divide your final answer by n take 1. Okay, so there we have it there, and n is how many numbers there are. So let's get the sum of each number squared. So this is just a pure calculator job. 29 squared plus 27 squared plus 24 squared, blah blah blah, and you end up with 4852. And then the next one, the sum of all the numbers, and then square it. So we add them all up. You can see it there. And we get 182 squared, and we get 33124. And just while we're at it, the mean is 182 divided by 7 to get the 26 that we got a little minute ago. So here we have it here. So we have the sum of each of all the numbers squared. So that was the 4852. Take away the sum of all the numbers then squared. That's the 33124 divided by 7 numbers. So we divide it by 7, then we divide it by 6. So that, take away that over 7, ends up being 120, which is what we got previously, over 6, and we have 4.47, which again is going to be 4.5 if I choose to round it off to one decimal place. So that's the two ways of getting the mean and standard deviation. We now have the comparison to do. Let's have a little look. This is number 5. Some players in the hockey team also recorded the number of sit-ups that they could do in a minute, and their mean was 29 and their standard deviation was 3.2. So make 2 valid comparisons. So just for a recap, the netball team had a mean of 26 and a standard deviation that we found to be 4.5. And the hockey team, the numbers they've just given us, 29 and a standard deviation of 3.2. So as you can see, on average, the hockey players do more sit-ups in a minute because 29 is greater than 26. And the hockey team have got a smaller standard deviation. There's 3.2 compared to 4.5. So the hockey team are a bit more consistent because they have a smaller standard deviation, with 3.2 being less than the 4.5 that the netball players got. There we have it.